Hello guys, welcome to Meta Mondays. I'm here with James and Leighton. This is the weekly Twitch show that I'm hosting, and we've got a load of spoilers over this weekend, so we thought we'd take this opportunity. Oh, Leighton's mic just starts going in there, so we take this opportunity to kind of go over the incredible amount of spoilers that FFG have dumped off us, because it looks like the set's coming out in 4 days' time, which is very exciting. How you boys doing?
I'm good. I've got a sore throat, but I'm good.
Sore throat. What's that? What's been going on in your weekend? You've been
Oh,
partying hard, like Andrew WK, been punching yourself in the face and getting a bloody nose.
Yeah, pretty much. How did you guess?
Cool. I'm good. I've been doing ironing whilst I watched a Tiny Grimes podcast today. It's been a very productive and adult day.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that Tiny's last podcast, actually. It was good.
Yeah, and especially who's saying how on podcast 50 he's thinking about getting all the
Yeah, you're
ex-hosts back.
famous.
So he might ask me back because I think I'm still his only English host he's had. So
Yeah,
ooh,
exciting stuff indeed. More excitingly, though, spoilers.
Mm.
How do you want to do this? Shall we do like a content creator each and just kind of run through the cards, or do you want me to just talk about them and then?
You go through them because my throat won't be able to hack it, to be honest.
Okay, so we're going to start with the artificery spoilers then. So starting off, we've got Rebel Traitor. He's an 8 cost. He's yellow. He's villain. He's got 8 health. He's got a 1 indirect, 2 indirect, a disrupt, a shield, and a resource. And after you activate this character, you may force an opponent to activate one of their characters as their next action this round, if able. What do you guys think?
I mean, it's interesting. Like the indirect damage is like, is indirect actually going to be any good? Because at the moment, we really don't know because you've not played with it. Yeah, and 1 indirect. I just feel like with indirect size, they should always be higher. Because you can't choose where the damage goes. So with this character, if he was traditionally, say, a ranged character, and he would be, 1 gun, 2 gun. I feel like if he's running indirect size, they should be 2 and 3s, just because. But that's obviously without any testing. I always feel like there should be 1 more because I can pick where they go. And now we're in this world of shields, and we are in this shield meta. We're all playing cards now that help shield up our characters, and Qui-Gon Kanon being this big beast. And not that necessarily FFG will predict the meta change, but the fact that they changed Vibro Knife, so they must have understood that would therefore increase the value of a shield side. Because before Vibro Knife was changed, I was saying for months that shields were basically blanks. So they know that shields are so much more viable now. So you just stick the indirect on the guy with the shields, so therefore they've done essentially 0 damage. So that's all I've got to indirect, but that is completely based on 0 testing.
Yeah.
I like to say that these guys have tested them, but then again, they print cards like F1, FN, M2199, and Vibro Knife,
Don't know what you're talking about.
and think they're okay.
Balanced.
The ability is cool, because you've got characters like who are very prevalent at the moment, like Sabine. She wants to
Equip guns.
She wants to equip guns, and she wants to activate on her terms. I mean, most of the time anyway, you want to activate characters on your terms when you want to, but to force someone to get an activation before they wanted to, or if they've been stockpiling some resources and you see they want to drop down a big upgrade this round, you just roll this guy up straight away, force them to activate to minimize the amount of dice come at you this round. So that's quite cool. 8 costing yellow. We know yellow villain have got the greatest cards in the game.
Yep.
So it's good for them to have on the cheaper side guy. But again, we'll have to just see how this indirect business goes. He's better than the smuggler for hero anyway.
The Outer Rim smuggler for hero. Yeah, anything's better than Outer Rim smuggler.
Yeah. The ability and his cost, and there's a lot of 1s on that dice, and his dice isn't exactly aimed towards much. I mean, you got a shield, a resource, and a disrupt, and then like Leighton said, I feel like those sides are too low for the indirect damage.
Yeah, I just feel like all indirects need to be bumped up 1 point.
See,
generally speaking, across the board, that's what we'll see and what we already have seen. I think he's an exception to that, and he's just a relatively cheap dice to make up for his ability, maybe.
Yeah, I think as soon as you stick 2 damage and 3 damage on an 8-point dude, you're getting in like, oh, I'm just gonna okay, he's not red, but you stick training on him. Oh, now I've got like a Vader, and he's 8 points. Even if
okay, maybe 2 and 3 is too much. Maybe just a 3.
Yeah,
just give him a 3.
Yeah, if you had a 1-2-2 or a 1-1-2 or something, like increase the value of his damage size, because I agree. I don't think indirect at this kind of level is really going to be that impactful. But when you look at like Saul Guerrera, with that 2 and 3 side at 16 points, you're going to see a lot more value from it.
Basically, what you're going to do if you play Rebel Traitor is you're going to roll him in, force your opponent to roll someone in, and then he doesn't like you his dice. That's basically what you do with him.
Yeah, and like it might even be that the damage is a bit irrelevant because that becomes really powerful. But you'll see them in most decks now. You don't really see like these odd ununique characters, right? A lot of the decks involve having a character at a leech, like 5 dice villains, R2-P2, Kanan, Qui-Gon. Like there aren't many decks that just are just these generic dudes that really form a part of a deck or in a deck, unless you're looking at Phasma and the boys. And he could replace Guavian. He's got 1 less hit point, and he does do less damage. But that ability to force someone to roll out could be really good. I don't know. I'm going to test it. I'm going to try, but
you have Guavian for your salvage stand control.
Yeah, that's the thing. You lose salvage stand. He's got less damage size. You can't pick where the damage goes. Guavian's got.
Well, you
more
still
health.
have it, but instead of having a 1 and 3 chance of hitting it, you have a
1 and 6.
A 1 and 6.
Yeah. I think
Cool.
We've probably spoken about old Mr. Rebel Traitor enough, though. So
Probably spoke about him too much compared to the other cards. Cool. So let's move on to the next one.
Yeah. So Vandalize, 1 point, neutral yellow event. Remove any number of your character dice equal to the cost of a support or upgrade in play to discard it. This is pretty damn good, actually.
Just get rid of backup muscle instantly and salvage stand. Well, salvage stand costs nothing, right?
Yeah,
so you can't remove no dice to remove it. You just have to remove one
they
dice.
have FAQ'd that, right? So you have to use 1 dice, but it's not even that as well. You can just discard it's upgrade. So you get that ancient lightsaber on Rey, and it's like, oh no, she's going to heal. I'll just remove these 2 character dice to stop that heal.
Oh yeah,
and
right. Yeah,
the weapon,
I'm not actually looking at the card. It's upgrade as well. That's crazy. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'll happily remove one of my character dice. They're showing a blank to get rid of that force illusion. So now that my 3 damage hits you,
that is probably the big power play. Is the force illusion removal, considering just how much removal there is, how little removal there is for getting around this kind of unblockable shield and force illusion meta that we're currently in, and for 1 and dropping a cruddy character dice, you can play this with Jar Jar Binks. You can remove 2 Jar Jar dice and drop a holdout blaster. That seems like value.
Yeah, and it's neutral as well, so we'll see it in plenty of decks, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. That'll be at least a 1 of in every yellow deck,
if not a 2 of.
Look,
it's neutral, so yellow villain just got better again. Next up, we've got. I think this card is hot garbage, but it's no cheating. It's grey. It's neutral. Deal damage to an opponent's character equal to the number of additional actions that player took during their last turn this round.
It's the most meta card that ever did meta.
Yeah. For that play, when you go Viro Knife, roll out Rey, resolve 4 speed, tactical mastery into another Vibro Knife into another 4 speed, and you're like, haha, I've one-shot your Rey. But as good as Rey has been, she's never been meta, right? She's never won a big tournament. She's never been at the very top of competitive decks.
Apart from Wilds, where she was in the top 4 with Han Rey.
Yeah. But that's one tournament
Apart from that.
in the last year. And that was only with the Awakenings cards as well. So I just feel like, although this is a very meta card that ever did meta, it is just not very good. And I don't think anyone's going to play it.
Yeah. I think people that are saying it's good are stuck like I think it's still Spirit of Rebellion, and people still play old Rey and chain ambush weapons on there for like 4 actions.
Because it is additional actions as well, right? So your action that you take doesn't count. So it's only on ambushes, and I just don't think there's enough. Like Ray would have to be as popular as R2P2 to
But
even
this
contemplate playing this.
Well, it's the same argument you have every time a new set comes out when there hasn't been a rotation yet. The pool of cards are now increased by 150 cards, and you've got to make a 30-card deck. Can you really afford to put this in your deck? And the answer is always going to be no.
Yes, pretty much. Although there is the most exciting thing about this card is it has R2KT on it.
R2KT from Force Awakens.
Yeah, and Clone Wars. She's a long-living droid for the good
I think
guys.
what we'll do is we'll say the now cliche thing. It's not going to be seen, but I'm glad to see that it's in the game.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. And I think with that, we should probably leave the card to die in our binders. So next up, we're on to the Double Blank Gaming cards. And we're going to start with Kylo Ren's Starfighter, which is absolutely ridiculous.
The TIE Silencer. For some reason,
the TIE Silencer.
They can't be bothered to actually give it its correct name.
If they did that, then it couldn't be unique, could it? Come on.
It's not actually Kylo Ren's. It's just a vessel which the First Order have.
They might release the TIE Silencer, you bloody ship nerd.
The TIE Silencer came out in X-Wing like 3 days ago. So there are done articles about it. So we know about it. In fact, I'll load up the pilot cards and I'll tell us more about the TIE Silencer while you're talking about it.
So it is a 2-cost villain blue support. It's got 1 range, 2 range, a shield, 2 specials, and the special is absolutely ridiculous. It's choose a color, reveal an opponent's hand, then deal indirect damage to them to the number of cards that are in their hand that match the chosen color. So against mono decks, you're playing Qui-Gon Kanan. That deck is dead. There's no way that turn 1 you play Kylo Starfighter, you roll it out, you hit the special, you look at their hand and go blue, and then you deal 5 damage to them. Or okay, let's say 3 or 4 damage to them. You confirm that their hand is full of blue cards, and then you roll out Kylo and do another 2 damage to them.
It's quite great. It's quite cool that this card is amazing, and also this ship in X-Wing has got one of the most crazy, amazing dials I've ever seen. Never have I seen so much green.
It looks pretty nimble in the old film.
It's also massive, like the miniature as well, compared to the other ones.
Do you like a big mini?
I like a mini in scale. It feels like it should be a large ship, or I don't know. It is crazy. It's like if you look at it on the base compared to like a T-65 or a T-70 X-Wing, and it's like huge. It's absolutely massive. It's hilarious.
Are you taken back by its size?
Old film.
I've dealt with bigger.
Okay. Oh yeah,
I know,
the old YT 1600 freighter is bigger, right? Fire sprays, they're bigger.
Yeah, but they're a large base ship. This is a small base ship.
Wow.
But yeah, it's great. It's Kylo hates mono decks. He loves bringing the pain to a mono deck.
Pretty crazy.
Like, do you see this being played in just general villain
engineered
decks
for speed and incredible handling? Here you go. Here's the flavor text for the First Order test pilot. Engineered for speed and incredible handling, the TIE Silencer was devastating in the hands of those who could unlock its full potential. Any lesser pilot would be overwhelmed or lose control of this nimble craft. There you are. There's a bit of a...
There we go. Poe Dameron would smash it, though.
He'd be sick,
yeah, do you see this card being played in just villain decks that have access to blue? Is it good enough? Is it just good enough to just play with, 4 damage sides and a shield? Just to slam that down turn 1 and just have
some
extra...
save up, play holocrons and 3-4 spells to save up for their rise agains, so maybe not. But it is great. Like, I would fully expect to see it in most blue villains. Maybe not all.
Yeah.
I see it. I mean, I can definitely see it in if you've got the thing is, because it's got gun sides, it's a bit on the old slower side, isn't it? Maybe if there's another it's definitely if you're playing like a villain vehicle deck and you can splash blue in there, you're definitely playing this and the TIE Advance as well.
Yeah,
definitely. I think it's great. I think it's good.
Yeah.
I can see it played in in most villain decks.
It's legendary though, so it's going to be. Is that going to be an expensive one? I don't think
about
so.
About £7, £7 to £10, I reckon.
Yeah, it's not going to be a holdout. A Night Sniper, is it? So we'll jump on to their next one. The next spoiler they got is very mediocre, and they agreed as well. It's the ground. Is it Battalion? Yeah.
Yeah, Battalion.
One round. Two range, 2 indirect, 3 indirect, 4 indirect for $1. A shield. After you activate the support, you may take control of the battlefield. This does not claim it.
Well, Krennic loves this, but Krennic's shit, so...
Yeah, Krennic Valor. Krennic Greedo.
Krennic Greedo, yeah. But it's got crazy damage sides, but...
Yeah. Like, E-Web also enjoys it, but no one's playing all these really slow supports. It's never going to happen.
Playing a Hux deck, a Hux Vehicles support deck. Get your mobilized, get your 4 resources, like 5 resources, slam this bad boy down, have the battlefield that allows you to re-roll and supports, activate it, claim the battlefield, or take control of the battlefield. So you have the battlefield, then you can then rest your supports can now do shenanigans.
Yeah, the only way I really see this being great is in like R2P2 when you're running like high grounds. Defensive positions, dug-ins. It allows you to consistently get them, but I don't know where you're going to get 4 money from to really play this consistently and early enough, and then it be impactful enough to really do a lot. Like its die sides, it poses the old question: was will indirect be good? But the 2, 2, and 3 seem good. The 4 for 1, you're probably not going to have the money to resolve it all that much.
Yeah, because you're spending 4 on the support itself. The fact you got to pay 1 to do its best side is just... Yeah,
and it hasn't got a resource side, so it's not going to make you any money after you make that big investment to get it out. And it slows you down, but then if you're going to not take the claim effect but then still get the benefit of holding the battlefield, I think we need to see more effects that require battlefield control for this card to really make it into any decks.
Yeah. It's scary when it hits the table because that splash is really going to start adding up.
Yeah.
You got a high chance of hitting it. So, yeah, interesting card, but won't be top tier, but you'll see it in some fringe.
Yeah.
People going crazy.
Yeah.
All right.
So, next up, we're on to Rebel Grey spoilers. So we've got Dark Advisor. 8 health for 8 points. I see a trend. Villain. 1 indirect, 2 indirect, 1 focus, 1 resource, and a special, which is draw 3 cards, then place a card from your hand on the top or bottom of your deck. He seems really fine, and I don't think anyone will play him because he's just fine.
Yeah. We were talking before about with one of the spoilers we were saying, talk about and playing with Elite Jabba. He had 8 points spare. I don't think he'd play it with Dark Advisor because there's literally 2 of those. Well, arguably half the focus you could get work from, the resource you get work from, and the drawing cards might be okay. To help
like a little Maz's Castle.
Yeah, but it's I'd just if I had 8 points, I'd just always rather take a Night Sister just for like her ability to force a reroll or to But when Awakenings goes, then maybe you'll play this guy. But while Night Sister is a thing, you will not play this guy.
Some crazy No Mercy plays with this guy, but with just crazy amounts of blue in your hand. But
I played Blue Villain so much, and I can never bring myself to play No Mercy. I put it in decks, and I'm like, oh, it's so expensive though. 2 money and my hand. And
it does so much damage though.
Yeah, but you have to wait. You think like, oh, I'm gonna kill the guy, but you have to wait, and then you end up sitting on this card for so long. Like I've always just had this rule with card games: if I've got cards in my hand I'm not using, I just fucking bin them. And redraw up. It's like when I used to play Pokemon. If I'm doing nothing that turn and I've got Professor Juniper in my hand, just discard your hand, draw 7 new cards. I'll just bin the hand and draw 7 new cards because I want to do things.
Yeah,
I need to tempo.
Yeah,
I think Lightsaber Throw is just better because it's only 1 cost and you don't have to lose your entire hand to do it.
Yeah.
See, like, Psychometry. I like the Force Throw of the last set that just drew cards instead. It was terrible, but This guy would be so funny just to see like a 10 damage no mercy play. I'd love to see.
One thing I've just kind of thought about is that we're not valuing these cards from like a trilogy standpoint. So if you're ever going to play just legacies,
then I still wouldn't play him. I'd rather play a fucking Jawa.
Okay, that's a bit strong, but I think he's probably better than Jawa. But okay, we'll move on. So the next card is Outnumber. It's a grey. It's villain only. It costs 1. Play only if your opponent has fewer characters than you in play. Remove one of that opponent's die. So it's flank, but it's not to do with activated characters. It's to do with ones you physically have left alive on the board. So when you kill a character, it's no longer in play, so it doesn't affect this card. Just to clarify.
Yeah.
The internet. You're welcome.
Yeah, I think you've talked that one to death. Moving on.
I mean, play it in Triple Death Trooper, maybe.
Yeah, I don't think this replaces flank. I think this is played in tangent with it. I think if you're playing 3 characters, you're going to play Outnumber and you're going to play flank 2 ofs because it's just really good removal. It's better than Electroshock if you just have more characters than someone, right? So
it's a cool, it's a good card, but I think when you're looking at your removal options, you work flank is always towards the latter part if you're unless you are playing 3 or more characters. So it's going to be it's one of those cards that have very niche application, but it's not one that will surprise you because like if your opponent outnumbers you, like it's no difference than basically flanking you, really, is it? So yeah. Cool.
Okay. So moving on, the next one is Well Connected. 0 cost, neutral, yellow event. Spot a yellow character to gain 1 resource. Each opponent may draw a card. It's worse than Truce. We're not going to play it for a year, and then we might.
Yeah. The good thing about Truce is you've got a side a gun side that has a 1. You get the money and you can spend the money straight away and then resolve it. Or other times where there's been times where I've played it in a deck and I really needed a resource for removal. So I get my resource and then I get to pay my removal. Where this one is just, it's a spot at which, can maybe later on be a dead card if your yellow character dies. No.
Yeah.
No. Sorry, James, you're going to say something.
No, I agree. And like you're giving your opponent a card. It's not you each gain a card. And also I'd rather give my opponent a resource like in Truce than give them an extra card for rerolls or, giving them better removal or whatever. It's shit.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, cool. So next up, we're on to Starkiller Bases spoilers. So I can't pronounce this. Is it Kanto Bright Pistol? Kanto is in Bright. The Pokemon region, but with
it's
the
got
C,
the C
not
instead of
K.
okay. Yeah.
Okay. So it's got
and also the region in Japan.
No, I don't want geography in my life. Take that away, please.
This is a Star Wars Destiny podcast, man. Get out.
So we've got we've got 3 range for 1, 2 indirect, 1 shield, 1 resource, a special, deals 2 damage to a character or 3 if it's a villain. It's a 3 cost, it's grey and it's neutral. It is the holdout blaster of this set.
Whenever a weapon has redeploy, it instantly increases its playability.
Yeah.
Instantly. Because it's, you look at other weapons and you think, that's a pretty solid weapon. It's got pretty solid ability. No redeploy. Man, that stings when that character dies holding that. Redeploy weapons can kind of get away with having a slightly worse die because it's just instant. It's constant value. Once that hits the table, it's not going unless your opponent removes it or you choose to replace it. So, and villains just getting more love with.
Yeah. Villains just getting a little bit more damage because they're evil. The only thing I really want to say about this card is I feel that Holdout Blaster was such a stupid card to print because it did everything and is in every single range deck because it has redeploy, it has ambush, it has a good die, it costs 2. And I think we're going to start seeing more weapons like this that cost 3, that have redeploy, that are fine. You're not going to play that yet, but in a year's time when we lose Holdout Blaster, and a lot of the really good, probably undercosted or just above the curve cards, then you'll start seeing these cards during play. But every single range deck in the game has 2 holdout blasters in it, and that's a problem with card design.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely. It's almost like in Destiny, the video game, when they did all the raid weapons in Vault of Glass. They were the best guns they'd ever made. So when they did the next raid, it was like, yeah, these guns are cool. They're not as good as these other ones though, so I'm going to use these ones. And then in year 3, when they allowed you or year 2, when you were allowed to bring your old stuff up to the new power levels, you just used all the old shit because it was so good. So to quote someone from work, they did their balls early doors.
Wow.
Which is a saying I love. This is fucking horrible.
The next
and you got to say it in that little Norfolk accent. Do your balls early doors. Right.
Let's not talk about the Norfolk accent. It is atrocious.
Agreed. I can confirm.
Yeah.
As the only person who is from this county, being that you 2 live here, I can also confirm it is an accent. And I'm so glad I don't have it.
So the next card is Vibro Cutlass. It's cool because pirates use it. It's 4 cost, it's got redeploy, it's yellow neutral, 2 sticks, 3 sticks for $1, 4 sticks for $1, 2 disrupt, 2 shields. Decrease the resource cost of this die by 1 when the upgrade is on a yellow character. It's really good. It's really good.
Redeploy.
It's got redeploy, tick. Is it better than Chewie's crossbow gun?
Yes.
Yes.
I agree. Even you just pick this on Maz, right? You roll her out, you hit the focus, it's 4 damage, easy. You don't have to pay for it. If you're playing multiple yellow characters, you can just get constant value from this. The only thing that is the big negative is the 4 resources to play it out. And then as soon as it goes on a non-yellow character, it becomes very mediocre, I feel. But if it is late game though, when it starts going onto another character and you've got that more kind of spare money to pay for the sides, more traditionally, then it will be good. But I think it's all got to go in this big, all yellow deck that's really melee focused, and it's good. But again, I think it's going to be another £7 legendary. It's a rare.
Oh, we were talking about the other day what yellow heroes melee. We forgot about Wookiee Warrior.
Yeah. Yeah, stick with some Wookiee Warrior. He can't pay for himself, but at least he can hit you with the Vibro Cutlass.
Yeah. No, it's a great weapon. It's got a dragon on it. It's got himself a little cup of Dr. Pepper. Yeah. Maybe it's a little cup of grog, space grog.
Yeah, it's got some booty.
The blooms.
Yeah.
The blooms.
It's a pirate life for me.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I think you're going to see this it's just massive damage sides. 4 free damage if you are on the other character. Yes, please. It's good. It's a bit hard to get out, but once you got it out, it's just going to pay for it. It's just value. Yeah.
Yeah, you've only got to resolve that 4 side twice, and you're good. You're doing all right.
The dream is to have a Wookiee Warrior with that and Electro Staff on.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
That's the dream.
Yeah,
that's
just roll out the 3 for 1.
That's one badass
3 and the 4.
Yeah.
10 damage. Wookiee Warriors, new meta. We're calling it right now.
10 damage. You can do more than 10 if he rolls the 4, his own 3, and the +3.
Oh yeah,
that's 10. That's 10.
That's 10. What I said.
That's math. Cool.
Anyway, next card before I have a nervous breakdown is Quick Draw, yellow event, neutral. Play a weapon from your hand on one of your characters, paying its cost. You may activate that character. So it's Cad Bane's ability in a 0 cost event. It's good.
Go on, James. I feel like you want to say something about this one.
Being Ezra that everyone hates is it feels like it's just got a little bit better as well. And then you play another one from your discard. You've got so much ambush there. It's great.
Yeah,
like it.
Discard. If new Han becomes a thing, as well. It's always good to give Han a DL blaster.
Yeah. Or a
this card.
thing might have just be ridiculous now.
Oh yeah, or a thing. Yeah, get her out and then get some damage out.
Yeah.
No, it's a crazy fast card.
Yeah. It's not that exciting though, so we will move on. Next up, we've got Chance Cube with.
Before we move on,
Yeah.
it hasn't got to be on a yellow character either. It can be any character.
No, yeah, it's just play a weapon on a character. So play this on like Mace, Maz. You can just chuck a lightsaber on Mace.
I wonder if it'll get the fast hands treatment and that'll be yellow character only, like very soon.
No, I don't think it's as crazy good as what Fast Hands was. Jesus, Fast Hands. Let's not talk. I've got PTSD. Next up, we've got Clone Trooper, which is a hero card, which I'm sure the internet is very sad about that he's not neutral. 8 health for 8 points. A shocker. 1 range, 2 range, 2 indirect resource. So it's the exact same as the veteran Stormtrooper, or they got a 3 indirect? Yeah, 3 indirect. But other than that, veteran Stormtrooper die. After you activate this character, you may re-roll this die. If you control the battlefield, you may re-roll one of your character dice. He's fine, right? But for 1 health less, you can just get a Rebel Trooper who's got Guardian and does 1 less damage side, but has a resource and a shield side. I don't know why anyone would play Clone Trooper on hero because you don't have best defense and you don't have cannon fodder. Am I wrong?
What about what is the broken as shit new yellow hero, the one that increases red guys again? Well, she's like 11, 12, isn't she? Oh, she's like dirt cheap. Do you know what I mean? The one who's like got. Hang on.
Blue. She's blue.
She's blue. Yeah. But her special increases she increases the damage on a red. I'm now looking for a bit. So.
Yeah, the General what's her name? She gets shot in the back on that plant planet during.
Yeah, you literally see her for like 2 seconds, and she gets shot in the back.
Yeah.
Alara Sakura. She's 9/12, and she's got 1 melee, 2 melee, 2 indirect, a resource, and her special is you turn one of your blue or red dice to any side, turn an opponent's die to any side. So so you could have her and a couple of veteran stormtroopers. No, her and a couple of 16. Yeah. 16. Yeah, she could have her and two clone troopers.
I feel like she is ridiculously undercosted, and you'll have a better pairing than 2 clone troopers. But thematically, it's very nice, and hopefully, there's a card that lets you turn clone troopers to your side as villains, because that seems like something balanced villains would get.
I think they'll get her.
Well, they can afford a 66 card.
Yeah.
Just kill a Jedi character. I think they'll bring out version 2.0 clone troopers because someone pointed out their version 1.0s or something. Those are the good guy clones, but later on when they get different armor, they become baddies. So we might get clone troopers, Mark II or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Is it what's the planet? Well, the insect people. It's not Geonosis. It's Geonosis. Right. So these are Geonosis era clone troopers, aren't they? When they were still good eggs.
The first, when they first appeared. So we could see a new clone trooper. Yeah, we'll see a neutral one at some point, probably called Mark II or whatever they call.
Yeah.
Those the ones that look more like stormtroopers.
Yeah, but that aren't actually stormtroopers because they are just normal dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
But speaking of normal stormtroopers, our next card, see the segue, is the E11 Blaster. It's 2 neutral red, 1 ranged plus 2 range, 2 indirect, 1 shield, 1 resource. It's got redeploy. It's a standard issue blaster for Gary and the dudes. It's just the replacement to F11. It's not as good as F11. We might play it because it's got redeploy, but we'll probably wait and it will become a card in a year's time.
Yeah, when F11 goes, you play E11, basically. But it's a solid card, and when a card has redeploy, it always, like I say, increases the value. 2-drop, Yeah. And maybe argue because the F11's got, is it got 2 modified sides, or there's a 1 plus...
And a pay for 1. It's got a pay for 2, a +1 and a +2.
Yeah. So at least this doesn't have any pay sides. This hasn't got any pay sides, but obviously one of the damages is indirect because obviously stormtroopers are really good at shooting their guns and missing their targets, and it ricochets off the wall and then hits them.
Well, even F11, right, has the 2 indirect on it through the special.
Yeah. So faux indirect. Faux indirect damage. Yeah.
So you got anything to say on it, James, or you agree? Very mediocre. We'll see it.
Mediocre. We'll see it in a year. See you later.
Yeah. The next card though is nuts, and I know you're gonna love it, so I'm gonna let you talk about it, but I'll read the card out. It's 1 resource. It's a hero red event. It's light 'em up. Reroll one of your dice. If that rolled a range damage, you may resolve that and another die showing range damage, increasing one of their values by 2.
Oh boy.
What do you think, James?
I'm sorry, I can't do high pitch because my throat's fucked. Sabine's going to love this, and Baze is going to love this, and oh my god, if you've got Overkill out, then you have won the game of Destiny for me. Like, doing this and then resolving for like 5 or 6 or whatever, it's just going to feel so good, especially if you've got, because it's resolve 2 die, another one of your dice with it, you can resolve the modifier with it, right? So that's so a 3 for 1, we have like 5 for 1 and a 3 plus 3. I don't know. It's this goes, I love it.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's going to be in every red hero deck that has ranged. 100%. So good.
Yeah, I want to give old Leia and Luke a battle, a little go. So Leia and Luke, they can light them up. She's got 3 gun size. Leia has.
She has. I wonder if Leia will come back.
Well, you can play Elite Leia, Elite Luke, and Elite Leia, Elite New Han. So.
Okay. Yeah, I could get behind that.
And didn't Ian use Elite Leia with Elite Kanan at our last event?
Yeah, I really like Leia Kanan, and he did win. He hit and run me for 8 damage and absolutely butchered me. It felt really bad. So good job, Ian.
Well, I say he could hit. I say he could have Kanan out or Luke out. You then play hit and run to activate your Leia with Overkill and all the shenanigans. As my next action, I'll play light 'em up because I rolled really bad, and then and try and get some damage. Yeah,
it's gonna do ridiculous
shenanigans. Ahoy!
So we're almost to the end. We've got the I Rebel spoilers, which came out today. So we might actually be the first person to officially review them, other than the content creator that was given to them. And I cannot pronounce this guy's name. Is it Newt?
Newt Gunray.
Newt Gunray. He is a villain, 8 health for 8.11 elite. 1 range, 1 focus, 2 disrupt, 1 resource, plus 1 resource. Event is each opponent gains 1 fewer resource during upkeep phase to a minimum of 1 unless that opponent discards the top 2 cards of their deck. What do you guys think?
Go on, James. I've already said enough.
Oh, really? That's the first. It looks great. Like, a few people already obviously pointed out the Rainbow Mill. And you play with him, you get to quote his flavor text.
Victory.
Really glad that you did that.
I mean,
the slightly racist
I'm just saying, I was quoting, so I'm not racist myself. Character. The internet,
the whole character is awful. I mean, he's already got a bad rep for racist stereotypes as aliens, but Newt Gunray is probably the worst one.
No, come on, Watto.
That's
Watto is probably the worst, followed closely by Newt Gunray. If they were going to have a club, it would be those 2.
Yeah, that's true. It looks good. For 8/11, that is insane. That ability is incredible. He will die first every single time you field him because of that ability, which I quite like because you do want to kill him when you watch those films. So, and he's for his point cost.
Do you reckon you'll ever see him fielded at 11 points? I don't.
No.
Not with the cards we've got right now.
Unless you play him with 3 droids.
It's not good. Stop making that a thing. Just play Sienna. She's good.
Yeah, but you want to play themed decks, man. You want to play Newt Gunray and 3 droids.
Roger.
You want to play a theme deck.
Okay. Theme decks, I guess, are
theme
good.
memes. Do you know what? I don't know if we've actually talked about this, or I don't think I've actually had anyone mention this, but have you noticed? I mean, I noticed this a long time ago, but I don't think anyone's said anything. Look on the characters, like he's a character leader. Like this is the first set where they've like been like, so he's a Newt Gunray. He's a separatist viceroy. So he's already got a subtitle, and now he's a leader as well.
They're doing, everyone's got a subtype in the character bit.
Not all of them.
Some of them just aren't specialized, right?
But Clone Trooper says character dash trooper, and
yeah. But Dark Advisor is just a character, and so is just Rebel Traitor. But yeah, I wonder if that's going to become a thing at some point.
That's going to be a hook in one of the expansions. It's going to be like the title expansion where we have loads of title cards.
Because what's that card? Because there already is a card, Empire Wars, now a yellow card, which is to do with the one that's got the pigmen on, and that's to do with title.
Yeah, but
it's
that
not
means...
title. That's just 2 characters of the same name.
Yeah, that doesn't mean this.
Twin Shadows, Twin Shadows,
Yeah, this doesn't mean this extra kind of title category.
This would be for upgrades, I think, really.
Well, spot 2 characters with the same title. So is title like, for instance,
title is like
a master manipulator.
Viceroy. This other thing will be like character type or something. Yeah. They'll give it a silly name, which should have been title. But right, next up, that's our last character. So we're only missing 1 character, I think, now from this set, which is going to be a red hero character. So bets are out on who that's going to be. Next up, we've got a classic, really boring event, which might be good. 1 resource, neutral yellow. It's called bartering. 1 focus, 1 disrupt, 1 resource, plus 1 resource special. To gain a resource, force each player to draw a card. You may force each player to
It's an upgrade. It's an upgrade.
It is an upgrade. And it's an ability. So it just seems all right. It's got focus on it, but it's not got a lot. It's going to make you money. It feels okay, and it's like you may force each player to draw a card, so it can help you, and it can kind of help your opponent, but I don't think drawing an additional card is too crazy. I mean, it's the reason why we don't see a lot of like original Luke, right? And 50% money sides is pretty great for 1 as well. Is it the Dark Council that hero are looking for that villain can also play?
Oh, I've lost sound.
You've lost sound? Was that just...
Oh, there you go. You went down. Sorry, Danny. What were you saying? Is it what?
So is it like Dark Council, but for heroes that villain can also play? Is this going to see a lot of play? Because it's just so much resources for such a low initial cost.
I think...
It doesn't suit my playstyle. So for me, it's a trash card. But I'm sure people will use it in slow ass decks and in mill strategies and stuff. So yeah, I'm sure it's not trash, but in my mind it's trash.
I mean, that with that Patience ult art we're getting from regionals, it's only a 1-cost die, so that could be good.
It could.
Hungry Hippos will see it. We'll see it. I'd put this in my Hungry Hippos deck. I think
it's in there, is it? Okay.
I think so. Potentially.
Well, you've got
salvage down to hit as well. Like if you weren't hitting it already with them for some reason.
Yeah, in the villain side, you can trigger salvage stand off it quite easy.
And then you kind of want them to draw a card sometimes, because sometimes I'm like sitting on Uncard's ability and they've already Jabber, or they've milled themselves out by putting stuff out,
discarding or mind probes.
So I'm just like, you draw a card and then I'll rip out your hand with Uncard or something. Yeah, I don't know. Might sit play.
Okay. So we're down to our last, or second to last, because we got a bonus one midstream about an hour ago, which is Investigate. Blue hero event, cost 1, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, add one of them to your hand, and place the rest of them at the top of your deck in any order of your choice. You're never going to see it played. There are loads of cards that already have this effect.
Yeah, it's just like the fact that this is a game you rifle through your deck quite quickly. I don't think you need to do much in the way of tutoring or deck stacking, because if you discard and every turn anyway, you can just ditch your whole hand if you want to draw 5. So
said earlier, I think it was when you said about we've added another 150 cards or whatever to our pool. Is this card going to see play over those potential other No, it's not. No.
Yeah, no. So thanks for the idea, but I'll probably end up having 15 of this because it's a common.
Yeah,
I'm glad to see it's in play, like we said, because it's kind of cool to see Dex's Cantina.
Everyone drink.
Isn't it Dex? I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Someone.
So last up, we kind of got a sneak peeky one from Team Covenant, which is Force Wave. It's 3 cost, blue, ability, neutral, 2 indirect, 1 resource, special for 1, special for 1. The special is deal 3 damage to a character, then deal 2 damage to another character, and deal 1 damage to a third character.
Yeah.
This is so interesting.
Well, it's if you play Invuln, you're gonna holocron on.
Yeah.
There's an ability. And then the only issue is, which I'm guessing the ruling will be, if you're playing against 2 characters, you deal 3 to one of your opponents, then 2 to the other opponent, and then you have to take 1 on one of your guys.
That's exactly how it works. So you've got to do all of the text. So
yeah, it is a then.
You're going to be choosing where and when to ditch this, I think.
So basically, so essentially you're paying 1 to deal 5 on their side and 1 damage on your side, which again in the shield meta, just let it hit one of your shields. Yeah, it's a cool card. I like it. It's cool, but I don't know if I can see it in the Holocron suite. I think even if I was playing Emo Kids or Kylo and New Vader, I think I'd still rather a Force Push. Maybe just because it's got 2 guns, so I can choose where it goes, and a special for a bit of control. But I guess this is a more aggro card, so
yeah, I think you'd want to see a meta that's full of more than just like at the moment 1 3 character deck. I think if you start seeing 4 wides and more 3 wides, especially with battle droids, that could start getting really mental with the number of like wide the hero sets can go. I think you'll see it then, but until we kind of get like a solid meta where there are just tons of characters out, I agree. I think I'd rather play a Force Push.
I don't think there's ever going to be a world where the meta is 4 characters up onwards because the costings were shit. Yeah. But no, it's a cool card. I like it. I could see it as a cheeky one-off.
Yeah, and I feel like once we lose a lot of the Awakening's Force powers again in a year's time, this could definitely see some play.
Once Mind Probe goes, yeah.
Once we lose Mind Probe and Force.
But once you lose Mind Probe, you lose bloody Holocron anyway.
Yeah.
So you really want to pay 3 money for this? I think once you lose Holocron, you basically lose Force powers on villain side because they're going to want to pay for them.
No. And because you don't really see them very much in the hero side, right? It's all weapons all the time. So.
Yeah, because heroes can still have Mind Probe and Force Throw, but you really don't see it so much.
There's a way to kind of pass over these abilities when we get. I don't know if Funeral Pyre can do abilities or not. I don't think it's only titles and weapons.
I think it's non-ability, isn't it? Doesn't it just say non?
So we need like a training or something that lets you move these, that gives these abilities redeploy.
Funeral Pyre is just an upgrade, so it could be anything.
Okay. So you can Funeral Pyre, Force Wave. So maybe we'll see something a bit more there with Funeral Pyres and redeploying out Force powers in the future. But
I think you see this in maybe if they bring out some more characters with, like, obviously they will because it's a new thing, but if we see lots of more characters with indirect damage, like you're going to put this in an indirect damage heavy, not just because of the 2 indirect damage sides, but because of the special. Like if you're doing 3 damage to a character, that's great. If you're doing 2 to another, I mean, that's cool, that's part of the special, but like really that only is really good to you if the opponent's already splitting that damage out.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I imagine it'll be put in with all these indirect characters that we're going to see in the next coming sets.
Yeah, this is actually just coming up to about 50 minutes now. This is almost a podcast. So I'm gonna wrap up here, and we're going to do another. We're going to do the red article. Yeah. So we'll check that out. So thanks everyone for watching. We're doing a Twitch channel stream every Monday, 7 p.m. GMT for about 3 hours. So make sure you stop by. Thank you to all of our Patreons. The alt art cards are going out soon, probably, Leighton?
Yeah, I'll send them out at some point. I just need to get some envelopes and I'll send them out.
As always, very prepared. So thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next one.